It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On NC State, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Wolfpack fans. It's me again, Kenton Gibbs, bringing you another episode of Locked On Wolfpack. And folks, we have a lot to talk about. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to try to cover all of it today. I forgot, I kind of knew that I didn't do a Ken's Keys, but when I worked out how my shows were going to have to go, I kind of realized that I wasn't going to have time to do a proper review of the game and Ken's Keys. And plus, there were some things that came up that just have grinded my gears into oblivion. So we're going to talk about that as well. But, of course, we have to talk about the 28-14 win on the road down there in Tallahassee by the football team. Great job, which sets us up for what is a de facto Atlantic championship game, more or less. Because if we find a way to win, if we find a way to beat Wake Forest, I mean, we're pretty much in at that point. But we'd have to not let down against Syracuse and the University of No Consequences. But even if we were to lose to Syracuse, there would still be hope for us in there. So that's the reality there. But anywho, the fact of the matter here is simple, okay? This 28-14 win, it went pretty much how I thought it was going to go. Florida State was missing a bunch of players due to a bug, some type of flu or something that was going around in their program. It's not COVID, but it's some type of bug that had a lot of players out. And even with Mackenzie Milton in there instead of Jordan Travis, still didn't make much of a difference. Went how I thought it was going to go as far as at the end of the day, the best thing that Florida State does is run the ball. The best thing that we do as a defense is stop the run. Those two things came together. We held Jayshon Corbin to 33 yards and 2.4 yards per carry. Like that's the reality of how good we were at stopping the ground game. And also, Devin Leary is a guy that I think needs his flowers a little more because I've been screaming from the top of my lungs before the season. I've been telling people. I've been beating on tables. Remember when I did that episode where I parsed out Devin Leary's numbers from last year over a full season? And I said, if he does anything near, if he is anywhere near the level that he was at last year, we're going to see something absolutely ridiculous from Devin. We're going to see an absolutely great year from Devin. And now look. I mean, am I right or am I right? Am I lying to you all? Am I telling you all something that doesn't make sense here? Have I told you all something that's like, yo, Ken, you're wildin'? Tied for 7th in the nation with 25 touchdowns. And because he's tied for 7th in the nation, right? So he is in a 4-way tie for 7th in the nation. So that means that 9 players have as many or more touchdowns, passing touchdowns than him. Not a single one has thrown less interceptions than Devin. Not a single one. Not a one. There are a couple that have thrown the same amount. Kenny Pickett, Bryce Young have thrown the same amount. Nobody's thrown less. And when you do the context of the interceptions, 2 of Devin Leary's interceptions came at end of half Hail Marys. Again, I'm not lying to you now. You break down those numbers. If you were to take away those 2 interceptions, he would be the only quarterback in the nation with 25 or more touchdowns and less than 3 interceptions. He'd be the only one. The next nearest who's been taking care of the ball as well. Hendon Hooker of Tennessee, 21 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So he's been absolutely phenomenal this year. I think we need to give the guy more love. Honestly and truly, he deserves more love. He has been flat out balling. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We are no longer a dink and dunk offense. He's been asked to push the ball down the field a good amount. And yet and still, he's completing 66% of his balls. This guy has been going off this year. So we need to show some love to him. We need to tell the world how good he is. But anywho, back to the actual game, the Corey Durden Bowl, as I like to call it. We came out with a pretty good win. Trent Penix has looked amazing in the passing game, and he looked even better this game, leading all receivers with 97 yards and a tutty. C.J. Riley touchdowns, always beautiful to see, right? Anytime I see a C.J. Riley touchdown, I tweet about it because it's always great to see. Ricky Persons did a lot of work on the ground and through the air. Now, here's a very interesting thing. Him and Bam combined for over 150 yards through the air and on the ground, which is big time. It's big time to get our running backs back rolling and get them back moving downhill and getting some movement up front. That's very important. That is very important because at the end of the day, I believe that we're at our best when we're balanced. And to have that balance is going to be crucial against the Wake Forest team that cannot stop the run. Even if you gave them the before it was torn down, the walls of Jericho, the East Berlin Wall, the border wall, you give them John Wall, every wall there's ever been, Paul Wall, you name it, Walmart, the biggest Walmart you can find. They cannot stop the run, period. They cannot find a way to stonewall the run. That's just the fact of the matter. So having our running game get back going the week before we play them, very important, very crucial. Again, our defense, it is always a full committee of guys doing it. Always. Tanner Ingle led the team with tackles in this game. Devin Betty was second. And here's the thing. This team, we played downhill. We played in the backfield. We did what needed to be done. And that to me, everybody's talking about, oh, it wasn't pretty. Well, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Listen, at the end of the day, in this year's ACC, it doesn't matter if it's pretty. Also, I've already told y'all this quote a million times. I'll say it a million more. As Eric Bieniemy says, the game is not about numbers. It's about the alphabets. And the only alphabets that matter is W or L. Nobody's going to go back and say, wait a minute. Well, how did you beat this team? Was it pretty enough? Because the goals that we have, winning pretty is not important, right? Like if this was a situation where we were trying to compete to get into the playoff, then sure, we would have a little different conversation about winning pretty. But the playoff committee has its own problems I don't want to get into right now. So when I'm looking at this team in this game, we did what we had to do. We played a very good game. We won a very good game on the road. We won by 2 touchdowns. Everybody keeps saying it's not pretty, not pretty, not pretty. The line in Vegas was 3. We won by 2 touchdowns. I mean, what more can you really ask for there? And again, Devin Leary, another phenomenal performance. The offense came out there and did their thing. The only thing that I'm worried about with our offense is we go on very long lows where it's just like, we go on these streaks every game where it's 2 to 3 drives, not even at 2, but more so 3 to 4 drives where it's just like, all right, when we gonna figure this out now? What we got going on here? In this game, I want to say that it was the start of the game where we did that because our first drive was a punt, second drive was a punt, third drive was a punt, and yeah, that's just you never want to have that. You never really you don't really want to have a situation where you're taking a very long time to get rolling, get something going offensively. It's just not. I mean, I know that our defense has been a strength of this team, but you still don't want that. But anyway, let me talk to y'all about the thing that has just been grinding my gears, okay? Coach Doran, again, is talking about the respect that this team deserves. And I understand the argument that some members of the local media are not putting us on the national stage, because the members of local media who are AP Top 25 voters have not been very kind to NC State in voting us in. And I could understand the frustration there a little bit, right? But other than that, and even with that, please, it is played out. Stop with the we don't get respect and we're not getting the respect. Do you know what gets respect more than anything? Just winning. And if you already listened to Locked On ACC, I'm sorry that I got to repeat this again. But it's the reality of the deal. Just win. Just win. At Cass Tech, there had never been a team in the history of the city of Detroit to win a Division I state championship. Never once. Every week in the state playoffs, my junior year, every expert bet against us after about the second or third round. There's 5 rounds. So for the state championship game, the semifinal game, and the game before the semifinal game, we were picked against every single time by everybody. We just found a way. We just found a way. Game in, game out. We just found a way. Playing against the flame-throwing left-hander that's supposed to be all-world, and they said, "Oh, your quarterback's a freshman, and you all got all the pieces, but the best quarterback is gonna shine." We found a way. We found a way. After that, oh well, you're going up against a team that they just know how to win. They just know how, and this just seems to be a team of destiny. We found a way. Going up against, this team's got so many state championship rings that can't cover all their heads and toes. We found a way. Why am I saying this? It does not matter what the experts say. Look at North Carolina from the beginning of the year to now. Look at Clemson from the beginning of the year to now. What did the experts say? Look at Michigan State from the beginning of the year to right now. What did the experts say? What did the experts say about them? All 3 of those teams, the experts were wrong. It's okay. If everybody and their mama thinks that you're a bad team, good. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. I don't care. At the end of the day, Joey Galloway is done playing. Pollock, done playing. Desmond Howard, done playing. Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Fowler. None of those guys are going to be putting on putting on their cleats. Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, all of the media guys, any major media outlet you can think of, even if you want to talk locally. Jonas Pope, a good friend of mine, great man. I had him on the show before. He's not lacing up the cleats. Lauren Brunlow, great reporter. Loved working with her at WRAL. She's not lacing up the cleats. You know what we need to focus on? Just winning the games. You know what we need to talk about? Winning the games. That's it. Because the respect comes with the winning. The respect comes with the ring. It doesn't matter what you say to me. Just make sure you put ACC champ on it. That's where the respect comes. Whatever you call me. Oh, it's just dull old Dave Doran. ACC championship winning dull Dave Doran. Oh, well, it's that overhyped Devin Leary, ACC champion. Overhyped ACC champion, Devin Leary. Oh, here comes droppy Devin Carter, ACC champion, drop Devin Carter. That's the reality here. Oh, those guys were transferred from Florida State. They aren't really homegrown. ACC champion transfers. That's where the magic is. That's where the fun is. And I've long been a proponent of just a true hater of all of the extras and the exuberance and all that. But people need to understand something. When I'm talking about the fans, when I'm talking about the media, when I'm talking about all that, I say that it's extra for a reason. Only thing that matters is what you do on that field. Period. 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 Who would have picked Purdue to knock off 2 top 5 teams this year? If you would have put a computer simulation up and said, we're going to run through this season 1,000 simulations, and how many of them do Purdue knock off 2 top 5 teams? How many? How many do you think they would have? I mean, they were picked to finish in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten. So how many do you think would have said, oh, yeah, that's a team that's for sure going to knock off two top teams? But you know what happens when you focus on what's between the lines and not opining about not getting respect? You get the job done. And so with the latest comments from Dorn about respect, I'm not saying that they're not going to win. I hope that they do. I really and truly hope we can get the job done against Wake Forest and put ourselves truly in the driver's seat going down the stretch to become the Atlantic champs. Truly. I hope we do. I believe that we can. I know that we can, actually. Not I believe we can. I know that we can with what we've got. But with that being said, just go out and win. Just go out and make it happen. The talking is the easy part. The talking of people respecting you. Even if they do say they respect you, doesn't matter. That's the easy part. Getting people to talk nicely about you, that's the easy part. The hard part is proving to people who say nice things about you right and proving to people who said you can't wrong. That's the hard part. So let's master the hard part. And the thing that is always easy is Prize Picks. All right, college football fanatics, have you heard about Prize Picks? It is daily fantasy made easy. I love this and I know you will too. Prize Picks is a leader in college sports daily fantasy. Prize Picks offers more college football props than anyone in the world and offers all the star players of the Power 5 as well as mid-major players you might not have ever heard of. Prize Picks offers any prop you can think of, from yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown. All of the users that deposit and use promo code LOCKEDON will receive 100% instant deposit match up to 100%. Just use promo code LOCKEDON. You pick 2 to 5 players and then over on their projections, you can win up to 10 times on any entry. It's just you versus the projected numbers. Prize Picks allows mixed sport entries. You can take the over on LeBron combined with the under on Mahomes in the same entry. Use the award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. So don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON, or go to your App Store and download it today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. So I told y'all we had a loaded show today. The next things that I got to talk to you all about is we have women's basketball, of course, and we have men's basketball as well, starting off in just a couple of days. By the time you hear this episode, we will be less than 24 hours away from official tip-off. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that just, it's lovely to see. Actually, let me refrain that. We're not going to be 24 hours away because I dropped these in the morning. But we'll be less than 48 hours away from seeing the men's basketball team take on Bucknell and the women's basketball team take on South Carolina, USC, however you want to call it. And man, I'm here for both of them. I'm here for both games. Only because I am excited to see what happens in these games, and I'm excited to see how these teams look in both aspects. On the women's side, you have a top 5 matchup coming your way. That is always, always, always going to be excited. Going to be an exciting situation because at the end of the day, we saw last year, this was a team that gave us fits, held us to all types of season lows, and we still found a way. And they're a very good team. They are a national powerhouse of a program in women's basketball. Coach Dawn Staley is going to be a Hall of Famer. She is amazing. She is wonderful. But I still think Wolfpack going to take it to them. I still think that. The depth of this Wolfpack team, the quickness in this Wolfpack backcourt, the experience and balance throughout the entire team. Tell me that this women's team is going to be just fine up against South Carolina. Just fine. And then we go over to the men's side against Bucknell. What does this team look like depth-wise? What does this team look like as far as, are we finally going to match Keats' play style of like just constant chaos for 3 to 4 minutes? Just constant chaos. Just constant, everywhere you go, I'm going with you. Full court. I'm going to make it difficult. I'm going to make it hard for you to breathe. And then I'll go out of the game. And they'll bring in somebody else who's good too. And he's going to make it hard for you to breathe. And we just going to keep going back and forth. We're going to keep taking turns. We're going to have a rotation of guys that's just in your grill, in your space, just wearing you down, beating you down, just bumping and just everywhere all over you, full court. I'm ready. I'm ready to see some college basketball. And I know that we're still in the throes of football season. I know that our football team has a chance to do something we haven't done since the 80s in bringing home a conference championship in football or basketball or baseball. We haven't done it forever. It's time. It's time. And it's going to be exciting to see that from football, but I'm also excited to see both of our basketball teams hit the hardwood this Tuesday. Oh, what a joy. What a blast it's going to be. What a ball it's going to be to see that happen. Man, I can't wait. When I tell you, I really and truly cannot wait. I'm just, I can barely hide the excitement. When I tell you, I'm literally getting giddy just thinking about it. Oof. And another thing I get giddy thinking about is Built Bar. If you haven't tried Built Bar by now, you are missing out. They say it's a protein bar, but it does not taste like one. You have to try one of these amazing bars yourself to believe it. Most protein bars are chalky or waxy or just plain hard to choke down. Built Bar is soft, covered in 100% real chocolate. When you bite into it, you know you're eating something different. It's more of an experience and one that you'll enjoy. In fact, you'd swear you're eating a candy bar. Built Bars are low carb, low calorie, low fat, low sugar, and high in protein. So all of the healthy benefits on top of just being purely so delicious, so many flavors. Another great thing about Built Bar, there are so many mouthwatering flavors that include coconut, raspberry, mint brownie, chocolate, coconut almond, salted caramel, double chocolate, and cherry barcia. Go to Built.com and use promo code LOCK15 and you'll get 15% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at Built.com. So, friends, I'm about to land this thing. But, again, great win by the football team, 28-14 over Florida State. You did what you were supposed to do. You took care of business. That's the important part. Again, please stop talking about the respect thing. Please. Please. It's not becoming of anyone. It's just not. It's just not. And also, it's definitely not becoming of anyone who doesn't have a ring yet. When you get that ring, talk about all the respect all you want. If people are still talking about, oh, NC State doesn't deserve it and they stole one, and let them do all the yapping they want. Let them do all the talking they want. But that's when you can say, doesn't matter what you say. You got to respect this ring. You got to respect this ring. You cannot write the story of the 2021-2022 college football season without us. You can't. You can't. Power 5 conference champion. You think you're going to write the story without us? Regardless of what happens in the bowl game. We're going to end up at a New Year's 6 because that's what happens if you're a conference champion. But you get my point. And if you piss down your leg, you piss down your leg. And that's that. I mean, what can you say respect? Oh, respect us for finishing second place in our side of the conference. Respect us. No, it don't work like that. People respect winning. People respect winners. Again, super excited to see the men's and women's basketball teams go at it Tuesday. I am just so geeked up. I'm ready. Also, make sure y'all set y'all clocks right. Daylight savings hit again, folks. Anywho, thank you all so very much for coming out. I appreciate it every single time. Peace and love, y'all. And as always, go Pack.
You are Locked On NC State, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, Your team every day.